I know. I was 10.
Now, instead of concluding the archives, Wes, I've got a little special presentation of our archives here for you.
What do you got?
Hairstyles from the 20s till now.
Oh, boy.
men's hairstyles, to be precise.
Okay.
All right, the 1920s. Actor Rudolph Valentino lit up the silver screen with his defined side part and glossy jet black hair. And then there weren't a whole lot of extreme hairstyles through the 30s and 40s that I could find.
Pretty standard.
But now in the 50s, James Dean, Elvis Presley, and Johnny Cash made the pompadour hairstyle famous for bad boys.
Mm-hmm.
The hair's cut short on the sides and left long over the top. It's then combed forward, flipped up and back in one long wave, creating a voluminous poof at the front of the hairline.
Oh, those good old days.
Now the 60s, on the other hand, you had Bob Dylan's fine curly locks that stood straight up on his head, which for some made the disheveled look something desirable.
Mm-hmm.
The Beatles all sported the mop top early in their careers. Their brown locks were cut at uniform length with a fringe of long bangs just above the eyes.
That's right. I remember Dad talking about that. Everybody had those Beatles wigs.
Well, see, the Beatles also sported the shag in the 60s,
Yeah.
which was defined as pretty much anything grown out and messy.
Uh-huh.
In the 70s, Bob Marley brought dreadlocks into the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
The 70s also saw the rise of the mullet, long in the back, short in the front, or as it was put, party in the back, all business up front. The style's been seen with many variations, such as the mohawk, the tropical mullet, which has dreadlocks in the back, the skullet, which is shaved head on the top with long hair in the back, and the cullet, which features long hair in the back with a receding hairline in the front, usually swept over. That'd be about all I could do as a cullet.
A cullet. I've learned something today. Not in the archives, but in the hairstyles.
Now, in the 80s, mohawks became the symbol of rebellion in the punk rock movement.
Mm-hmm.
The 80s also supported the rat tail, the bowl cut, the perm, the high top fade, and the flat top. The 90s, Kurt Cobain wore his hair parted down the middle, long and straight, which became the haircut for anyone starting a grunge band in their garage.
Right.
The early 2000s, the faux hawk, featuring longer hair that has been gathered, raised, and spiked at the top of the head, commonly held in place by hair products, became more prominent. David Beckham and Cristiano Ronaldo have both been seen sporting faux hawks.
I've seen those. Those are cool.
And then the 2010s, the Bieber, or the non-dyed emo hairstyle, which is parted to an extreme on one side, and the bangs allow the wearer to hide behind them or flip them out of the way, as Bieber fans will agree was a signature move of his.
All right.
But now, see, I'm a Kentucky boy, and this is 2014, so I think I'm going to do a little different. Those of you watching EPB will see this. I'll go full screen. But I've done something that I call the horseshoe. Here we go.
That looks good.
For those who can't see, Wes, can you describe on the radio what it looks like?
The horseshoe. It's a horseshoe. It's basically a ring over the top of your head, and that's all there is. No hair on the bottom, no hair on top, just a horseshoe.
That's exactly it. That's all I could really do. Like I said, I'd be sporting a cullet if I wore a mullet because I'm missing the top middle there.
Mine is, I call it it's not a fade. It's more like a faded away.
There we go. All right. Well, that concludes the archives, Wes.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Brought to you by